Okay, today's question is how to create more buyers and sellers for real estate professionals. If you're a real estate professional, in this video I'm going to talk about really the latest information in terms of marketing for you that's very pertinent. If you don't pay attention to this, I assert it's going to cost you opportunities for sure, and certainly a slowdown in the next 5 to 10 years, if not much sooner. And the reason is primarily because there's a lot more internet marketing done these days, which requires a different approach. Traditionally, most real estate professionals have been marketing by outreach, at least the top 1%. You know, they're doing more frequent daily mailers or direct mailers, I should say. Not daily, but direct mailers. Some people do it very often to different postal regions. And that's not a bad way to do it. It's still pertinent. If it's targeted well, it can still work. But the truth is, nowadays there's more opportunity in the world of the internet and social media, as opposed to social networking, social media, which is very different. So there's some understanding that I want to provide for you that will probably help you for attracting both buyers and sellers. And I'm seeing validation of this in the realtors and real estate agents that I work with, some of whom are very much the toppermost in their field. And for good reason, because they're always looking at what's the next thing and what's the best thing to do in terms of their sales and marketing. So when it comes to taking advantage of this new style of marketing, actually before I start on that, I just want to point out, a recent report came out just in California, which usually, California is a trendsetter, always a trendsetter in terms of marketing and new ways of doing things. And in California for sure, the number of people who are finding real estate agents online is going up. It's beginning to outpace finding real estate agents through referrals or through friends or through family. A lot of people are searching online these days. So if you don't capitalize on that, again, like I said, you're leaving money and opportunities, and probably the truth is more free time, because you can actually be more efficient in your marketing, spend less time in your marketing, probably even less money, and actually have a greater return with less time. There are a couple of stages in this. The first, and I'm going to talk very abstract here, but I promise you, when you work with me, you get a lot of specifics to do. Okay, and I'll give some of those specifics as best as I can within the time frame I have in front of this camera. The first thing to do really is to create a mission statement. And a mission statement, if you look at my other videos, very simple. And there's a reason why you want to. Let me first cover the reason why. The reason why you want to create a mission statement is because it's going to help you put everything else, all these strategies and tactics and thinking, all in going in the same direction. If you don't have a mission statement, most people tend to do different things at different times, trying different things, but you're not all going in the same direction towards one thing. So, your mission statement that maybe that you only want to bring out the best and greatest value for sellers. So you may not be interested in buyers, as an example. Mission statement could also be that you are intent on creating value for your community. So maybe sellers and buyers in your community, but you're intent on creating value, which means not just getting them a good deal, but also educating people on the real estate in the area, so that they can educate other people and, of course, bring other clients that way to you. Okay, but a mission statement is important and critical to have, and it could be a simple mission statement, but you want to start with a mission statement, and you can refer to my other videos too, if you don't mind, to find out how you can do that. But a very fast way to do it is just come up with 20 words or phrases that inspire you, just emotionally inspire you. Write those down, whittle it down to the best 10, and out of those best 10 words or phrases, come up with 2 to 3 sentences, 3 sentences maximum, to create your mission statement, or what you believe in, or what you feel is right for you. Okay. The next thing is to start thinking strategically. By strategically, you want to look at what your target markets are, evaluate where your money has come from in the best way and the easiest way in the past. So what I have my clients do when they first work with me, sometimes, not all the time, is to look back on their best deals in the last 2 years or the last 1 year, and look to see where it came from, what kind of messaging you did to get them, how much you made, how much of a pain it was energy-wise, mentally, and based on that, try and figure out what are the best markets to really focus on. We may not have a lot of data, But what I like doing is at least have 3 kinds of strategies or target markets to go after. And these may be geographical areas, these may be demographics inside of the kinds of people you want to attract, or they could also be psychographics, psychologically what kind of people you want to attract and what kind of magazines do they read. If they're spiritually minded people or business minded people, you want to start distinguishing at least 3 of these kinds of target markets. So that's thinking strategically. There's a lot more to it than that, but that's sufficient for now. The next thing is to identify 4 long-term objectives, which could be 5 years or 1 year, preferably both. And you want to just have 4 maximum. If you have 1, that's great. And typically, most people do an income goal for 5 years and an income goal for 1 year. That's fine. And then the next thing is to start creating shorter-term objectives. So like every 3 months or every month, what should your objective be to stay on track towards those longer-term objectives and your mission as well. So you want to make sure your mission and your long-term objectives and your short-term objectives are all going at least roughly the same direction. Okay, and then and from that you can actually determine what you need to do every day, what your objectives should be that will build up to those medium-term, long-term, and objectives as well as the mission statement. Okay, and your strategy, of course. Okay, so hope I'm not going too fast for you, but I hope you can slow this down, look at it again maybe, and be able to get what I said. The last thing is what I call a grouting list. A grouting list is kind of like, it's taken from the word grout, which is the kind of stuff you put in between marble tiling to fill in the space. And that's the same idea when you have a little bit of time here and there. Some of you may be scratching your head, I wonder what I can do in that 5 minutes. Well, it turns out on the internet, you can do a lot in 5 minutes to make a huge impact on your business. And I found this out, I've done this for other clients as well. And it's amazing, like I said, I know sometimes you're in between meetings and you're wondering what you can do. I'm not the kind of person that's ADHD at all. I'm not always looking for something, but sometimes that is there. And if that's the case, then you can spend a little bit of time doing these what I call grouting tasks. And these very small things you can do. You can send a tweet on Twitter. So I would recommend getting a Twitter account. I would recommend getting a Facebook account for your business, or Facebook page for your business. And once you get a Twitter account or a Facebook account, and you get a YouTube account and you post a few videos, even if you post 5 videos, okay, you can post it alternatively on Facebook or YouTube over time. So even if you have 5, if you think about it, if you're posting on YouTube and on Facebook alternatively, that gives you, 5 times 5, 25 ways you can use that one video, right? Now imagine if you had, let's say over time you accumulated 20 videos. That's, 20 times 20, that's like about 400 variations. You could literally almost do a tweet or Facebook page every day, 365 days, but 400 opportunities. I hope the math makes sense to you. So over time you can see if you develop the number of videos and the number of blog articles that you have, you can distribute it very simply with almost a touch of a button. Within less than 5 minutes, you can start doing that. And you can see how this can build over time. So I hope that makes sense and you get my sense of excitement about it, because it's really rather simple to do. The other sense of excitement about it is the majority of realtors are not doing this. So you have an opportunity to do this. But it takes some thinking to do this. You just don't want to do the grouting list. You want to think of your mission statement, your long-term objectives, your short-term objectives, the strategy that you want to take, i.e. which target markets you want to focus on, and then start doing these grouting things every day and the short-term objectives every day. And before you know it, you may have a very sound, solid marketing funnel that keeps feeding you even in lean times. So I hope that makes sense and hope that serves you, and I look forward to answering your questions if you have any. Have a wonderful day.